All right, so the deck structure here, what you're gonna find with painted deck structure, now this is pressure treated beam, so it's gonna last no matter what. What we find on the horizontal surfaces of this kind of stuff is this is something you're gonna battle as long as you have paint on the deck structure. So what I'll do for now is quote it to repaint it, but in the future, if you ever do replace with like pressure treat, or you have the option, it's always best to go stain on this stuff. It's a lot easier to recoat, and you're not going to have this kind of wear and tear. I see some of these posts are looking like they will be replaced. So for now, I wouldn't go as far as like sanding them or doing anything crazy, but do a nice job of getting all the flaking paint off, prime them nicely. And part of that is the pressure washer does a good job, but then going over it by hand, scraping everything off, so we make sure that we have a good surface for adhesion. And then I use the high build bonding primer, which unfortunately it's expensive, but all primers are not created equal. And so that's why I choose to use the one I do, and that'll give us the best results that we can get. Now, everything on the deck structure, I do 2 coats by hand, especially since we're doing a color change. We'll address this foundation down here. It looks like it's just a little bit of flaking, so I like to use a masonry primer on all that. So I get an extra gallon of that. I do it all by hand, but I'll scrape off anything that's happening down here on the foundation. We'll prime that. I'm trying to see. I like to, whoever did this did a good job cutting it off here. What? And then here is an option here. Now this door down here probably doesn't need anything, but what I use on my doors that I've just started using is, because I don't like brushing spar varnish. I don't think, you know what, this might not have a clear coat on it. This looks like it just has stain. I use a product called Old Masters Ascend, which is a water-based exterior clear coat. I have only been using it for about 3 years, but so far I haven't had any failures or any problems with it, especially seeing that this is covered. So if you wanted to add some shine and some clear coat to that, it does run $100 a gallon. But that's the product that I like to use on all the doors, makes them nice and smooth. And then we clear coat all this. Caulking wise, it looks like a lot of your caulking is done, but I would go around and touch up. Honestly, I'm just go ahead and do it again, unless it's super fresh and I do a nice clean job. You never want to caulk under the windows though. Just the sides, the top, the joints. And then corner trim. Somebody did a nice job on this, so I would touch up, you know, the belly band, stuff like that. On this side, we've got some moldy eaves, but they're not too bad. Now, when we get up there, I see some damage in there. It's hard to tell what's the spider web and what might be a hole. It looks like those go all the way into the house, so we can Bondo that to try and smooth it out and make it look a little bit better. If we get into replacing it, that would be an addition to this, and I really won't know if it needs anything more until I get up there, but we can probably put a Band-Aid on that for now, with some Bondo. Cover it up, keep pests from entering the house. Yes, sweetheart? Down here, this looks like a brand new door, very easy to recoat. I do spray all my doors. I don't like brushing, especially on these, because the brush marks just stick out like a sore thumb. So in this case, what I usually do is I'll kind of crack the door, I mask the inside of the house a little bit, and then I'll spray the exterior without any of this stuff on it. That way it gets a really nice smooth finish to it, especially with a door this nice. And then on the trim, it will, so I see this is wrapped. That's not wrapped. So whatever I would suggest, it's not a huge cost difference. It probably take me maybe an extra 4 hours on the entire house to wrap all the trim rather than just face it off. But I like to wrap it. I think it looks better done that way, wrapping the bottoms, wrapping the sides. But it does save some time if you want to just face it off. So let me know on that, and we can adjust accordingly. Now on these gutters, give them a good clean. And then this I try and do in the shade, and I add a little bit of additive in there to reduce the amount of brush marks. The only problem with, it's never going to look as good as it does factory, because those factory powder coat is perfect. So If it's something where you guys want it perfect, I can spray it and that comes out the best possible, but then I end up masking off the roof. Typically, I'll just brush it and clean it really good and use the best technique at the right temperature that I can to keep it from showing lap marks. Up here, what's really nice is this V-Rustic a lot of times likes to flake, and you guys are not having any flaking, just a little bit on the fascia. So no issues there. So anyway, I will dig a trench around the house, pressure wash down below the surface. The prep is the main step of everything, covering everything that doesn't need to be sprayed. We like to, and the other part of that is that I am the only employee at the moment. So it does take me a little bit longer to do the house. However, something like this is well within this is perfect, actually, what I like to do. But I am on every detail of the house. I'm not here for just 8 hours. This is my name, this is my business. And so I take a lot of care in what I do. Now, we had talked about painting this garage door. This has an oil-based stain on it. So what we need to do first is we need to prime that with an oil-based primer. You gotta be careful, baby. Are you okay? Did you scratch yourself? No. Come here, I got you. So we use an oil-based primer. What I use is called Cover Stain. And it is exactly for that purpose, covering stain. And there you are. So